Fear of rejection. Well, this is a nice one. I think I'm going to focus on the example of a guy hitting on women, not because it's the one and only example of fear of rejection, but for me at least, I think it's the one I can mostly relate to. And I think many young guys can relate to that as well. So, the fear of rejection, I think, is the one thing that really holds a lot of people back from talking to that girl that they are interested in. And obviously, it's a mistake. You should always talk to that girl you are interested in whatever the circumstance is. Try your best not to give her a very negative experience like some of the people do, unfortunately. Try to give her a nice experience. And you know what? I want to surprise you, to tell you something from my experience, that when you hit on women and you do it in a nice way, even if they are not interested in you, you can really make their day and you can really give them a great experience, and they would be full of joy and full of light just because someone hit on them and they feel beautiful, they feel sexy, they feel amazing about themselves, even if they are, I don't know, married or have a boyfriend and are not really necessarily interested in you in particular. Alright, so that's my little tip if we are talking in this realm of hitting on women. But regardless, don't fear rejection. It doesn't make any sense. Intellectualize it. Talk about it. Realize that it really doesn't. So yeah, so this person rejected you. You know what? Maybe you rejected a lot of other people in the past. It could happen. It didn't break their heart. It won't break your heart every time someone rejects you for whatever reason. It could be in the realm of hitting on women. It could be in the realm of, I don't know, applying for a job or whatever. Yeah, sometimes you'll be rejected. It doesn't say anything about anything. It doesn't say anything about you. It doesn't say anything about them. It could be just the circumstance. For example, if we go back to the realm of hitting on women, so if you can hit on a girl and she may not be interested and reject you, but maybe she is kind of interested in you, but only 10 minutes ago she had some horrible news, or maybe right now she's really busy doing something, or maybe it's not a good time in her life for her to meet you, so that's why she's rejecting you. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's a bad person or that you are a bad person or that anything is negative about anything. It's all cool. Don't take rejection and see it as something that bad. It's not necessarily bad. And I'm going to tell you something else that is pretty surprising. If you have this fear of rejection and you worry about hitting on a girl, and then you actually go and do it, and she actually rejects you, do you know how are you going to feel afterwards? You are probably imagining that you are going to feel really bad. Well, guess what? Out of personal experience, I can say that 100% of the time you will feel amazing. Amazing, even though you are just rejected. And usually they don't reject you so wildly negative, in such a wildly negative way as your imagination would want you to believe. But even on the rare occasion that you do get rejected in some really negative way, it always feels amazing. You know why? Because you just conquered your fear, and conquering your own fear, overcoming fears, is an amazing feeling. You will feel amazing and you will feel so good that you will just want to go and hit on the other girl or another girl. You want to spend the entire night hitting on girls because you feel so energized by overcoming your fears. The fear of rejection is not going to go away over time. Every time you hit on girls, it's going to show up its little head, and every time you are going to overcome it, and every time you are going to feel amazing about it. Alright? Fear of rejection, I don't even know why we have it. It's such a weird primal fear, probably something to do with ancient whatever, I don't know, or our society or whatever, but the reality is that it really doesn't make any sense. And also notice that maybe the fear of rejection isn't really the fear of rejection by itself. Maybe you feel afraid of hitting on women because of what other people say, the fear of what other people think, or the fear of, I don't know, the fear of the unknown, or the fear of whatever. I don't know, there are many underlying fears that could be out there. It's not necessarily the fear of rejection. So All I did right now was intellectualizing it, talking about it. If you want to use the second technique, which is slowly and gradually confronting the fear, then obviously you need to do it more and more and more. You need to do that thing that you are worried of being rejected of. For example, if you're worried about being rejected by women and that's why you don't hit on women, then do hit on women a lot. Do it a lot. Do it without shame. Do it without anything. Nobody's judging you. Nobody cares about you to begin with. Just do it and enjoy it. The only thing I would advise is to try over time to develop a technique that at least makes the women feel great about themselves and don't make it in a way that they would feel bad about themselves. Because you don't want to be that guy that goes around the world creating darkness and spreading fear, because those women could later fear men or fear being approached by men or and act in less and less nice ways because they would remember that one time some guy acted in a nasty way. So don't be that guy. Just act nicely and give them a great experience that even if they are not interested, they would like you anyways. And that's exactly the technique that will help them like you and not reject you. And you'll be surprised. You may be very, very surprised at the results if you just give yourself a chance and not fear rejection. Alright, the third technique is to associate the fear with something positive. So I think the best thing is just to, again, to try to hit on women in our example, and you will, over time, you will get some positive results. And that would be that great thing that would be associated with that fear. Another thing is, like I just said, this feeling of overcoming the fear and actually approaching, even though your inner voice or imagination is going wild, telling you about her boyfriends, about how he's going to come and he's going to murder you, and all the crazy things that your imagination is telling you that aren't true. You are going to come there and you are going to hit on that woman, and you are going to feel so amazing. Even when she rejects you, you are going to feel so amazing. Please associate that feeling of joy of overcoming the fear with the fear itself. And that's why next time when you see a woman and you want to hit on her, you will remember how great it feels and you will be more than happy to do it again.